Hi, welcome back to the Power of Model Drawing. Alright, so welcome back after 1 week of holidays. Alright, so we're going to continue with our drawing lessons, and also we are soon coming to the end of our P5 and P6 model drawing. And of course, there are still many other kinds of questions that we can draw, but we will not be spending so many lessons on model drawing. Right? So we have about another 3, 4, 5 more lessons. And after that, we are moving into something else. All right. So when the time comes, I'll be announcing what kind of lessons are we having. So all this will be under my online supports. All right, my MLGs online supports. So if you find that your child needs help, all right, then you can come online to learn together with us. All right. So let's look at practice problem 1. Now, Mr. Lee bought the same number of sweets and chocolates. He gave each of his students 4 sweets and had 14 sweets left. He also gave each student 6 chocolates but realized that he was short of 2. So this is an excess and shortage problem. So what is excess? Excess means you have extra. You have extra leftover. Right? That's good news. You have extra. All right. And what is shortage? Shortage is bad news. It means that you don't have enough. So you are short of 2. That's your shortage. So how many chocolates and sweets did Mr. Lee have altogether? Okay, now there are a few ways we can do this problem. You can do listing, right, which is a method, a heuristics. But because today is model drawing, right, so we have to use the model method. So let's draw the model. And how do we draw the model? It's actually not very hard. So you start with the first sentence. And Mr. Lee bought the same number of sweets and chocolates, right? And he gave each of his students 4 sweets and had 14 sweets left. So how do we draw? You draw same number of sweets and same number of chocolates. Okay? So you may want to label this as sweets, and then this is chocolates. Now he gave, so what is same number? Equal concept, right? So you draw 2 equal rectangles. So what I would like to do is, I like to draw a dotted line to show the equal concept. Now he gave each of his students 4 sweets. So I cut the first box. That's the first student. And then the last student will be somewhere over here, which is also 4 sweets. And I don't know how many students, so I draw dotted line. Dotted line is like your broken model. So when do you draw the broken model? When you don't know how many students are there, or when there are too many boxes to cut, then you draw a dotted line. And then there are some sweets left, which is the 14 leftover sweets. Okay? So this is actually your excess, or you call it the leftover. Alright, he also gave each student 6 chocolates, but realized that he was short of 2. So where do you put, or how do you draw this model? Now, the same student, the first student, right, who has 4 sweets, also get 6 chocolates. So you have the first student over here, and we don't know how many boxes, right? So we have to draw the broken line, the dotted line. But because he wants to give everyone 6 chocolates, he was short of 2. So you draw dotted box to show the shortage. So this is your shortage. Okay, you're short of 2. All right, and the last person, where is the last person? Somewhere at the end of the rectangle. All right, the last person is somewhere at the end of the rectangle, which we can't draw. So you have the first person, which is at the front of the model, who has 6 chocolates, and the last student is somewhere at the end. Okay, right, who doesn't have enough. Okay, doesn't have enough chocolates. Okay, so how many chocolates and sweets did Mr. Lee have altogether? So where do you put your question mark? So you can put your question mark like this, okay, like this, something like this. How you want to put it is up to you. All right, why do I put the question mark so far away? Okay, let me just put a bit, let me just bring a bit nearer. Okay, something like this. So how many sweets and chocolates altogether? All right, and your model is done. All right, so how do we solve this problem by looking at the model? Now, this is like your average model. Okay, it's like your average. What is average? It means that everybody all get equal number. So everybody all get 4 sweets. Everybody all get 6 chocolates. So it's like average. This is your average model. So how do we use this average model to find how many chocolates and sweets? All right. Now, can you see that if everybody gets 4 sweets, right, 4 sweets, and then now everybody is going to get 6 chocolates, right, 6 chocolates. So you can see there's a difference of 2, which means to get 6 chocolates, right, let's imagine that all the chocolates are sweets. Okay, let's imagine. So if everyone get 4 sweets, and now everybody wants to get 6 sweets, then everybody must have 2 more. So you take 6 minus 4, everyone must get 2 more. Okay, so to make it simple, all right, we change the chocolates to sweets. All right, why can we do this way? Now we can do this way because there is an equal number of sweets and chocolates, right? So we can actually change the chocolates or assume the chocolates to be sweets. So everybody get 4 at first, now everybody gets 6 in the end, so which means that everybody will get 2 more. So where is the 2 more going to come from? Alright, if you look carefully, if everybody gets 4 sweets, then there's an excess of 14. So your 2 more is going to come from this 14. And if everybody is going to get 6, that is not enough for everybody. Alright, and you can see that the last person, where's the last person? The last person will be somewhere until here, right? That's the last person, right? And so you can see there's a shortage of 2 if everybody is going to get 6. So where is the 2 more going to come from to give to everybody? So the 2 more is going to come from the excess and also the shortage. So which means that 14 plus 2, there are 16 here. So you're going to take the 16 sweets and give 2 more to everybody. So how many persons are going to get 2 more each? So you take 16 and you divide by everyone gets 2 more, right? And there must be 8, right? 8 students, right? So if there are 8 students, then can we find how many sweets and how many chocolates? Yes, we can. All right. So that means that everybody gets 2 more. So how many students get 2 more? There are 8 students who get 2 more each. And now, after getting 2 more each, now they all have 6 each already. All right, so everybody now has 6 each already. All right, so we have 8 students already. So what do we do next? So we're going to find out how many sweets and how many chocolates are there. So how many sweets? So you look at all this. Can we find the question mark? So if there are 8 students, then everybody get 4 sweets each. So 8 times 4, that'll be 32. And there's an excess of 14. So 32 plus 14, right? And you will get how many? 32 plus 14, there'll be 46 sweets. Right? 46 sweets. Now how do we know whether is the answer correct? Right, did Mr. Lee buy 46 sweets? Can we check? Yes, we can. So if there are 8 students and everyone is going to get 6 chocolates each, then that will be 8 students times 6, alright, 6 chocolates each. So there will have to be 48 chocolates. But does he have 48 chocolates? No, he doesn't. He's short of 2. So which means that he must have only how many? He must have only 46 chocolates. So from here all the way to there is only 46 chocolates. And isn't that the same answer as 46 sweets? So, and that's how you solve. Alright, so this is using the excess and shortage model and to work out the answer. Of course, there's another way to do it. The other way is using the listing, right? Systematic listing, which will also get you the same answer as well. So how many chocolates and sweets did Mr. Lee have all together? So you need to plus them. So you take 46 times 2. So 46 times 2, or 46 plus 46, he has altogether 92 sweets and chocolates at first. Okay? Now, if you are still not sure about how to draw the model to work out the steps, I will advise you to play the video again and just look through one more time. Alright, so this is like your average problem. Right, so when you do average, there is a model that you can draw for average. And this is one of the example. Alright, one of the example of how you draw out an average problem. Okay? Alright, so let's go to the next one. Okay, question number 2. Now, Kenneth has some money. He spent 1/7 of his money on food and $180 on transport. He spent 1/5 of the remainder money on a new table. He also spent $1,000 on a new television, and he saved the remaining $1,400 in the bank. So how much money did Kenneth have at first? Alright, now when you read this in the exam, of course it's going to be very hard to solve if you start thinking about what are the steps to take. So what we should do is, like what I've always mentioned, if you know that you can draw a model, then you should try to draw the sentence. So this is how we do. Kenneth has some money. You draw a rectangle for his money. That's the first sentence already. He spent 1/7 of his money. So this fraction is talking generally about his money. So you break up. His money has 7 boxes. So you cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1 box on food. Alright, on food. So you can you can label here 1 box on food and $180 on transport. Alright, transport. Alright, so where do you want to put the $180 on transport? Well, there are many ways you can do it. Alright, you can see that it's a bit hard to put $180 on transport because the boxes are all there. So what I can do, now model drawing is very creative. Alright, so it's all about creativity. Right? Nobody can tell you how to draw. You have to think about how you want to draw. So how do I put the $180 on transport? I can do something like this. Okay, I can draw a dotted line somewhere, anywhere, as long as it doesn't show, or maybe I should not draw half. Otherwise you get confused and think that you cut the box into half. So I would like to do this. Okay, maybe something like this. So that you don't get confused and start thinking that, oh, every box is half, or you cut the box into half. So this is what? This is the $180 on transport. Okay, so where you want to cut the dotted line is entirely up to you. You can cut here, you can cut anywhere, right? You can cut anywhere you want, because in the end you will still get the same answer. All right, so it's really up to your creativity, right? How you want to show the $180. And then where are you now? You are now until here, and he spent 1/5 of the remainder. So where is the remainder? The remainder is the right side of the model after the dotted line. So the remainder has 5 boxes, and of course, if you look at the model, you can see that you cannot cut into 5 boxes. So you will have to drop down the remainder, which is over here. All right, can you see that? All right, so let me use my red color to show where's the remainder. The remainder is on the right side of the dotted line, and you cut this remainder into 5 boxes. Okay. So you start with a clean model. Every time you drop down, you start with a clean model so that you can cut into 5 boxes. And he spent 1 box on a new table. Alright, so this one will be T for table. Alright, then there must be 4 boxes left, right? The 4 boxes which is over here. So what happened to these 4 boxes? He must have spent $1,000 on a new TV. So let's label TV. And he must also have saved the money. So this is also saved. So the rest of the 4 boxes, what happened to these 4 boxes? He spent on a new TV, which is $1,000, and he also saved $1,400. Can you see that? So as long as your language, right, you have been reading your storybooks, you should be able to understand the language and then just follow the language. All right. So one more time, he spent 1/5 of the remainder. So your remainder has 5 boxes. So he spent 1 box, and then what happened to the 4 boxes? He spent $1,000 on a TV. All right, and also saved the remaining $1,400. That's why you can see that the 4 boxes that I draw, what does it include, or what do they include? The TV and the money you save, right? So how much money did Kenny have at first? So your question mark will be the whole rectangle, and that's how you draw. All right. So it's not that hard. Maybe at first when you start to draw, you do not know where to put the $180, but now you can see that you can actually put anywhere you want. All right, as long as you label clearly with a dotted line and your words. Okay. All right. So let's look at the model now, and let's work out. So what can we do now? Can you see the remainder has okay, has how many units? There are altogether 5 units. Okay, 5 units or 5 boxes. So you call them units. Okay, so you have 3, 4, and 5. So 4 units is spent or are spent on a TV, which is $1,000 and $1,400, right? So that will give you $2,400. So how much is 1 unit? So 2,400 and you divide by 4, so 1 unit will be 600. So can you find how much is the remainder here, which is 5 units? So 5 units will be 600 times 5, that will be $3,000. And whatever answers you have found, you add on to your model. And these are the steps that gives you the marks, right? And then whatever you drop down is the same as above. So above is also $3,000. Okay? So are they 3 boxes that you see? No, it's 3 boxes and a small part of another box. So what do? Then you look carefully. All right, if you look carefully at the above, you can see how many boxes are there. There are 7 boxes, right? So one part, and why I don't call units, because like what I mentioned, if you have units already, then you have to use something else to call the boxes. So you have to call parts, right? Because the boxes are all different sizes. So you have the units to represent some boxes, and then you have the parts to represent other boxes which are of different sizes. So you have 1 part here, 1 part here, 1 part here, and this entire green box is also 1 part. Okay, and then if you look carefully, you can see that how many parts equal to how much. So if you notice, you can see from here until here there are 6 parts, right? 6 parts or 6 boxes will be equal to $180, which is the transport, plus the remainder money as well, which is the $3,000. So you add them together, you will get $3,180. So your 1 part will be $3,180 divided by 6, right? And what would you get? You will get $530, which is 1 part. And then can you find how much money he had at first, which is 7 parts, right? Altogether he had 7 parts, so 530, and you multiply by 7, and he would have $3,710 altogether at first. All right, and you can see the steps are on the right side, and these are the steps that will give you the marks. All right, the model may not give you the marks. The model is to guide you with the steps. If you draw a good model, then you look at the model to produce the steps, and you can see the solving comes faster, right? If you don't have the model, you'll find that solving takes quite a long time. All right. Okay, so we come to the end of our P5 model drawing. So in the coming week or the next few weeks, we will look at some more model drawing lessons, and we will soon reach the end of our model drawing lesson. But just to take note that not every question you can draw model, which I have keep emphasizing. Which I've continued to emphasize. There will be some questions that you can't use model, which and then you need to use other types of methods. You have to use other heuristics. However, if you can draw model, you should be able to draw you can draw many problems already if you are able to draw the model. Alright, so then other questions you will have to learn other types of heuristics. Alright, so next week we will continue with our model drawing lesson. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next Thursday.